millions of Malaysians wake up and reach for their phones before they even leave their beds. Within minutes, we are exposed to breaking news, political debates, viral scandals, influencer content, and also thousands of opinions from complete strangers. Today, information is no longer something that we wait for, it follows us everywhere. According to data reporter, Malaysia had more than 25 million social media users in 2025, and that number has continued to grow as social media becomes part of everyday life. For many Malaysians, platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X have become primary sources of news and information. At first glance, this seems like a positive development. We have more access to information than any generation before us. We have more voices, more perspective, and more opportunities to participate in public discussion. But this raises an important question. If we are consuming more information than ever before, why do so many online discussions feel more emotional than informed? Why do viral controversies spread faster than verified facts? And why do complex national issues become often reduced to hashtag, short videos, and comment wars? To answer these questions, we will examine 4 major Malaysian controversies that dominated public attention using the 4 perspectives: media sustainability, journalism accuracy, media regulation, and also the culture of distraction. And this video will explore how Malaysia's media ecosystem influences the way we think, react, and engage with important issues. But before we examine these controversies, we first need to understand how Malaysia's media landscape has changed in the digital age.
20 years ago, getting news was relatively simple. Most Malaysians relied on newspaper, television broadcasts, or radio stations. Information came from a limited number of sources, and people generally consumed the same headlines and stories. Today, that reality has changed. The moment we wake up, we are surrounded by information. We scroll through TikTok, Instagram, we read posts on X, and watch YouTube videos, and also receive updates from countless news platforms. In just a few minutes, we can consume more information than previous generations could access in an entire day. In many ways, this is a positive development. According to the Media Sustainability Index, a healthy media environment should provide citizens with a variety of information sources rather than relying on a single dominant voice. In Malaysia, the rise of digital media platforms such as Cilisos, Lobak Merah, World of Buzz, and SAYS has expanded the media landscape and given audiences more choices than ever before. Different outlets can cover the same issue from different angles, allowing citizens to compare perspectives and form their own opinions. This diversity is important because it encourages a more open and inclusive public discourse. But having more voices does not automatically mean we are better informed. The internet has created a new competition, not just for information, but for our attention. Every media platform is competing for clicks, views, shares, comments, and watch time. The more attention a story receives, the more likely it is to spread across social media feeds and recommendation algorithms. As a result, the question is no longer whether the availability of information, but the question is which information successfully captures our attention. So in an environment where attention is the most valuable currency, speed and virality often becomes more powerful than depth and understanding. So this has raised an important concern. If we have access to more information than ever before, why do public discussions sometimes feel less informed? To answer that question, we need to look at what happens when information travels faster than verification.
When news break online, speed often becomes more important than accuracy. For example, the Esha cyberbullying case demonstrated how quickly information can spread before facts are even fully verified. Thousands of users began identifying suspects, sharing screenshots, and assigning blame long before official investigations even concluded. This directly challenges one of the most important principles of journalism, which is verification before publication. The same issue appeared during the GISBH scandal. Social media was flooded with shocking clips and personal testimonies. But how many people actually followed the court proceedings, police statements, or even investigation reports? In a digital environment, attention often rewards speed and emotion more than accuracy.
Polis akan memanggil pihak KK Superstores dengan Berhad, KK Supermart dan beberapa individu lain bagi membantu siasatan berkaitan isu penjualan stokin tertera kalimah Allah yang tular baru-baru ini. Ketua Polis Negara Tan Sri Razarudin Husin berkata kesemua mereka akan dipanggil untuk dirakam keterangan dalam minggu ini. Menurutnya, siasatan sedang dijalankan mengikut Seksyen 298A Kanun Keseksaan dan Seksyen 233.
KK Mart Allah stocks controversy raises another important question. What responsibility do media organizations have when reporting sensitive issues? Social responsibility theory argues that media freedom should be balanced with the potential impact on society. In this case, many people encountered the controversy through short clips, screenshots, and headlines. Very few were exposed to the full context.
Kita perlu bertanggungjawab dan juga memohon maaf tentang perkara yang sudah berlaku dalam beberapa hari yang lepas ini. Saya mau ambil peluang ini untuk mengucapkan terima kasih juga kepada netizen yang sudah viral tentang kes ini supaya saya boleh ambil tindakan yang secepat mungkin. Tindakan yang supaya hal ini tak mungkin boleh berada di kumpulan Supermart, KK Supermart yang sudah berada 23 tahun di pasaran. Kita betul menyesal, kita sudah ambil...
When coverage prioritize outreach over understanding, public discourse become more polarized.
Not every important issue can be explained in 30 seconds. But today, social media often encourage exactly that. Every day, we scroll through TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook. We see headlines, we watch short videos, we read comments, and within seconds, many of us already have an opinion. But how often do we actually stop and ask, do I really understand this issue? Let's take the BlackRock MAHB controversy as an example. This issue was actually very complex. It involves airport ownership, foreign investment, government decision, and economic policies. These are topics that normally require time to understand. However, when the issue became viral online, much of the discussion was reduced to a simple question: support or boycott? Many people form opinions after watching short videos, reading headlines, or seeing posts shared on social media. But only a small number of people took the time to understand how the investment actually works. This is where the problem begins. Social media makes information easier to access, but at the same time, it also makes it easier to oversimplify complicated issues. Instead of encouraging discussions, platforms often encourage quick reaction. People are expected to choose a side immediately. As an example, support or boycott, agree or disagree. There is very little space in between. There is a similar pattern can also be seen in the Fashion Valley controversy. The main issue involved question about investment decision, accountability, and the management of public funds. These are important issues because they involve money, governance, and also public trust. However, much of the online discussion focused on something else. People talk about luxury lifestyle, designer handbags, influencer culture, and personal branding. As a result, the public conversation become more focused on the individuals involved rather than the larger question about financial accountability and investment decisions. In other words, attention shifted away from understanding the issue and towards reacting to the people involved. So why does this happen? The answer is actually quite simple. Social media platforms compete for our attention. Content that is emotional, shocking, or entertaining usually gets more views, likes, comments, and shares. Detailed explanation often receive less attention because they require more time and effort. As a result, people are encouraged to react quickly rather than think carefully. And this is what scholars call the culture of distraction. We are surrounded by more information than ever before, but having more information does not always mean having more understanding. Sometimes, we become so busy consuming content that we forget to stop and think about it. Important public issues become viral content, complex discussion becomes simple arguments, and information slowly becomes something to consume rather than something to understand. The challenge today is not a lack of information. The real challenge is making sure we understand information before acting to it.
Malaysia has more access to information than ever before.
Independent media has created more voices than perspectives.
But accuracy remains essential.
And media freedom must be balanced with responsibility.
Most importantly, we must learn to look beyond the algorithm.
In a world where everything competes for our attention, being informed is no longer about finding information. It is about taking the time to understand it.